Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over what do you get with the cheaper options on lithium batteries, namely the 12 volt 100 amp hour RedOdo battery that you see behind me. I've run this for about a month on my Kayak with a motor, specifically the bow mount Motor Guide XI3, and a lot of you are probably curious about what do you get when you spend a lot less money on your trolling motor than say the name brands like Dakota Lithium and Amped Outdoors. Nothing wrong with those brands. I definitely urge you to do your own research and definitely check those brands out as well. But I've been running this battery behind me. This is the 12 volt 100 amp hour battery from RedOdo. They sent to me for this video, and I definitely want to thank them for that. But I'm gonna let you know my personal experience with this battery and should you consider this battery if you're looking at motorizing your kayak. Thanks for coming by. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, so this battery, I've run this for a little over a month. The Kayak that I'm in is a bona fide PWR 129. The motor that is powering it is the Motor Guide XI3. So that trolling motor specifically has about a 52 amp draw to it. That's important because that will determine the size of the battery that you really need. 100 amp hours, basically the math on it means you can run, if you're just running full blast, which nobody really does, if you're running full blast, you're gonna get 2 hours out of it. So a lot of people will run these at about a 6 or a 7 for the most efficiency. I have run this thing for about 7 hours. I've run it across the lake, going to spot, because that's why we put a trolling motor on a kayak. You're gonna cover more ground, you're gonna enjoy getting to those areas a little bit more, and you're not huffing and puffing. Now, it does take some of the exercise out, don't get me wrong, but if you're out there fishing, more time fishing, less time repositioning your boat, or again, you're covering more area and again, more likely to catch more fish. I've been doing a tournament here, a month-long tournament, so it was important to me, cover a lot of ground and to be as efficient as I possibly can. So this battery here, to get into kind of the nerdy stuff, I'm not gonna get too scientific on it because there's a lot of videos out there, people that have tried this battery out. I'll link some of those down below. There's one in particular that he does the discharge and the output and the protections and test it and all this. I thought that was really great. That's a lot more detail than I wanna get into. But all of these guys that have done it have not really been kayak fishing. So I saw a good opportunity to see how this battery does. So when I talk about max discharge, that is a lot of load in a short amount of time. Namely on trolling motors, that is to get it started, the initial thrust. So the max discharge on this battery, they claim is, so you can run 120 amps for 10 seconds, you can run 300 amps for 5 seconds, or 500 amps for 1 second. That just means that this can handle the sudden and heavy loads from a trolling motor in order for this battery to power it. And again, I've run this constantly for this month and I haven't had no complaints, no issues with it. Obviously this is super competitive pricing at $240. Again, if you want to check this out, an affiliate link down below, and you can use a discount code PADDLER for an additional 5% off. I do get a commission on that. If you want to support the channel and check out a great battery at a great price, again, I definitely appreciate it, but you don't have to, of course. So in addition to the super competitive pricing, they do only use grade A cells. So that's pretty much all of the internal components come from the same place anyway, whether it's this company or company X. They also boast a 4,000 plus life cycle, which basically equates to 10 years. They have a 5-year warranty. So again, if anything happens in that 5 years, they're gonna replace it, which is really nice. You can also run this in parallel up to a max of 4 batteries. That's gonna give you a max of 51.2 volts and 800 amp hour on that battery pack. So if you're running like an RV or solar panels for home energy storage, camping uses, you can do that with this battery. So it is built for that. So the really cool thing that really drew me to this, once I did some research before I said yay on them sending me one, is their enhanced BMS, or their battery management system. So basically what that is they have a low temp cutoff. So if the temperature when it's charging goes below 0 degrees, it's going to shut it off. The cool thing about it is it's automatically going to resume once it gets above 5 degrees Celsius. So basically what that's doing is it's shutting it down and it's closing it up when that battery is at its most vulnerable, or when it's charging. So that's really cool. They also have a high temp shut off as well. I'll put the temperatures up here. I don't have them in front of me because, you know, I prepare like you would expect me to. So the upgraded BMS protection basically has it's moisture proof, it's dust proof, it's also salt spray resistance, which I thought was kind of interesting for those of you that are in really harsh environments out there offshore. This is built for that. If I'm still going to probably run this in a battery box when I'm past doing the review stage of this, because again, I want to take care of my stuff, but I have not run a battery box on this. I've had this out in the open when I'm out on the water, getting some wind. Even we had a little bit of sprinkle on us the other night when we were fishing. That being said, if you're bass fishing and you're not night fishing, you are missing out. Those of you that know what I'm talking about, let me know down in the comments there. We have absolutely been on some tanks at night when they're out fishing. It's also cooler too. It's not as hot, which the weather has been kind of weird this year anyway. I know down here in the South and probably wherever you're listening to this from, but anyways, IP65 waterproof, which basically means it's a rating based on the moisture proof. It's not something you're going to want to submerge in water, obviously, but it can handle a little bit of moisture. And all that really does for you is it just prevents the corrosion of the circuit board, which is going to protect your battery from, keep it lasting for a long time. I have been ecstatic over this. I have loved this. I've loved the idea of offering you guys a really good option for a really good budget. So I feel like a lot of people that are getting into trolling motors have probably steered away from it just because of the cost of the battery. And more importantly, I feel like a lot of people have gone to a less amp hour on the battery to save a little bit of money. And if you're constantly worrying about how long this battery has or how much power you have left, that's something you're going to want to consider. This here, you get 100 amp hour protection all day, all night, and some people run them a couple of days. I just like to charge it as soon as I'm done with it. I'll put it on the charger. They do sell chargers. I'll link that in the description as well. It's a charger I've been using. But again, guys, I have full confidence, 2 thumbs up. I've been using this. I will continue to use this battery on my personal setup. I urge you to look at them as well. Use the link down below. Use the description or use the coupon code Paddler for an extra 5% off. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to check to see how it's currently doing, let me know down in the comments. I try to get back to you as soon as I can. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.